Good day, everyone. Welcome to our special edition program of the Philippine Youth for Christ entitled Empowered Speakers by His Spirit, not by might nor by power, but by God's Spirit. So this morning we have our special guest or one of our speakers, Pastor Shawn Shives, and we're glad to have him here. And so we want to know more about Pastor Shawn and his life, and especially his involvement in the ministry. So Pastor Shawn, could you relate to us some of the stories or of your family background?
I was raised in the United States and grew up in a poor family, very poor. My father was in prison most of my life, and I went into the United States Marine Corps, went to school at night, became an officer in the Marine Corps, and then I met my wife while I was stationed in the Philippines. I lived here for over 5 years in the late 70s and early 80s. And my wife actually is a Seventh-day Adventist and grew up a Seventh-day Adventist in the Philippines, but she had slipped away. So we were just living as secular people until God came into our life.
Thank you so much. So it means you could relate well to the Filipinos. So how was it?
Yeah, I love this country. We haven't been back in 16 years, and it's just a real privilege and opportunity to come back and see this country that when I come here, I feel like I'm at home.
Wow. And so we're confident that you could go with us as well, Filipinos.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And so we want to know what are some preparations you've done for this PYC?
Well, we spent a lot of time in prayer. We didn't get the notice of this until pretty late, but I spent a lot of time in prayer, and I wrote a sermon series on the book of Hebrews, and I put some classes together to teach people how to go out and win people to Jesus in a simple way, but an empowered way through the Holy Spirit.
And so how could you relate with our theme, empowered?
I think the theme is incredibly appropriate for today. We need to be empowered by the Holy Spirit. We need to be led by God's hand upon us if we're going to do anything of significance for God.
Yeah. And so we want to learn more about your life, and especially your conversion story.
My wife, a conversion happened. My wife wanted to go back to church. The Holy Spirit was talking to my wife, and I took her to church because, husbands like to please their wives. Okay, especially if you have a Filipino wife, they're pretty tough. Small but dynamite. But anyway, we went to church this one time, and I didn't understand exactly what the pastor was saying, but he challenged me to read the Bible, and I started reading the Bible, and that very night I read the Bible, and I was reading in Daniel chapter 3, where the 3 Hebrew boys were going to be thrown into a fiery furnace, and they had the opportunity to avoid that if they would just bow down to an idol, but they wouldn't do it. And I had seen my whole life, Christians that were not really Christians, that were nominal Christians, and that made such an impression on me. I actually prayed that night, Lord, if you're real, I didn't know for sure, and if you're calling me to be a follower of you, then I want to be that kind of follower that won't bow down for anything. I'd rather die first. And that's basically how my testimony is actually on one of the series you'll see on the video.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Even your wife could be a God's instrument, Lord, to transform your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so how could you encourage these young people to give their lives to Jesus too?
I would encourage you to do it now. Don't wait until you're older. I love being in the ministry. I love working for Jesus. I love serving Him. But don't wait till you grow old, because you may not have enough time. Do it now while you can give God the best part of your life, and you'll be rewarded over and over in this world and the world to come. You'll be around people that love Jesus. You'll be around people that you can trust. You'll have relationships that are better. Jesus will just empower your life. So my only thing would be, don't wait till later. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till Tuesday. Do it right now.
Thank you so much, Pastor Shives. So young people, you have heard what Pastor Shives said. And so let us be empowered by God's Spirit. That's it. Thank you so much.